And let's go. Started back rocking the brown. Ever since we been knocking them down. Baby said she wanna go to the game. Taught her how to say Padres gang. Started back rocking the brown. Ever since we been knocking them down. Mitchell and Ness with the old school name. All of the homies holler Padres gang. Yeah, that.
And good day, everybody. Welcome on in the Talking Friars Padres Giants pregame show for April 12th, 2022. Padres and the Giants kicking off the middle game of this three-game set at Oracle Park in San Francisco. Game will start at 6:45 p.m. Pacific time. First pitch, 9:45 on the East Coast. Just like it did yesterday, Padres entered today 4-1. The San Francisco Giants are 2-2. Thank you, everyone, for coming on in here. You can find me on my social media channels at Talking Friars on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Make sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel. Turn on that notification button so you don't miss a video. You don't miss when I go live to do these pregame shows, which I'm going to do before every game this season. So make sure to do that. We got another episode probably coming up on Wednesday after this Padre Giants series, so stay tuned for that as well. But let's start off a little bit with last night. I mean, last night, what a great game that was. That was one of the games where it was like a nail biter. That's what it felt like. Sunday's game, the Padres scored 10 runs, right? They won by 5 runs. That was not the case here. And you can make the argument that it might have gone to extra innings if some plays didn't go the Padres' way. With the Manny dribbler and Tyler Rogers, Taylor's brother, bobbles it. Who knows what would happen there? Profar doesn't make that catch in the gap. Holy cow, what a catch that was from Jurickson. He's not in the lineup, by the way, which doesn't really make sense to me. He's the best player on the team right now, arguably, and so for him not to be in the lineup in favor of Matt Beatty doesn't make that much sense to me. But Profar made a great play last night in the left center gap. He also had another RBI. I know it was a dribbler, but he still produced a little bit. With the bases loaded, he still made contact. I'd rather have him do that than, strike out with the bases loaded like we've seen some guys do. So yesterday, the Padres take that game. They've won 4 in a row after obviously losing the first game of the season, opening day against the Arizona Diamondbacks. So tonight, again, 6:45 p.m. Pacific time, Giants are in third place in the National League West, a game and a half back of us. Padres first place in the National League West. Make sure to call 619-335-5770, the voicemail number, to express any of your Padres thoughts. If you want to be featured on the next episode, I'll play all those voicemails. I just love, hearing those Padres thoughts. I haven't gotten one yet, so if you want to be the first and have that honor, I definitely appreciate that. It's one thing, like I mentioned on the pregame show yesterday, it's one thing to hear that, to see the comments like I do right now. What's up, Nicholas? How's it going? Carlos, Gil, how's it going, everyone? It's one thing to see these comments, but it's another to actually hear the emotion from, Padre fans. And that's what I want to hear. So again, 619-335-5770 for that voicemail number. Whenever, anything that happens, any news that happens, anything that happens in a game, or if you don't like the Profar decision to not have him in the lineup, and if you want to express your thoughts on that, feel free. Use that voicemail number to your advantage. So 6:45 tonight on Valley Sports San Diego with Mud and Don, 97.3 The Fan on the radio with Jesse and Tony. Yu Darvish and Alex Cobb, those are the two pitchers, the starters for tonight. Darvish for the Padres, Cobb for the Giants. The good thing for the Padres this series, obviously, like I mentioned yesterday, kind of previewing the series before Game 1, was that they don't have to face Carlos Rodon. That's a good plus. They're going to have to face Logan Webb tomorrow, but at least they seems like an easier matchup today with Alex Cobb. And then they get their best starter in Yu Darvish. Goes 6 no-hit innings his first time out. He looked great. But if I want to be picky, I hope that he doesn't end up walking 4 guys like he did last time, because last time he was facing the Diamondbacks, who aren't as good of a team, where here he's facing the Giants, and the Giants are a better team. They're not the Dodgers. They're not on the same offensive level as the Dodgers, but they're still better than the Diamondbacks. So if those walks continue to happen, if he walks 4 guys again, and let's say someone doubles after that, who knows, that can turn into a run because of how, deep the gaps are at Oracle Park. So what I'm looking for there, just try to limit the walks. But again, that's being picky. If you give up no hits and you walk 4, I'm fine with that. But I'm not expecting him to give up no hits again. And then for Alex Cobb, former Oriole, he had 18 starts last year, 3.76 earned run average. His fastball spin rate, I was looking on Baseball Savant, the StatCast website earlier today, and his fastball spin rate was poor last year. And he doesn't have a whole, amazing stats. Like there's some, I think I saw where, he has a good chase rate, so maybe watch for that. But Cobb is not, he's not one of their best starters, obviously. So this seems like an advantage, a starting pitcher advantage for the Padres going in, but it's baseball, so you never really know. Before we continue here, Carlos says, I've been meaning to ask, what are your thoughts on Luke Voit? What about Luke Voit? I think he's been doing well so far. I mean, he's been walking a ton, right? And there's some that'll complain that you're not seeing the power yet. But, hey, the power will come. He's healthy. That's all I care about, right? He's getting on base. He has at least 7 walks, I know, this year so far, and we're less than a week in still. So I like what I'm seeing so far, and he's going to continue getting those at-bats. Gil, what's up? So he says, Ben, what about that reliever we talked about yesterday involved in the Mania trade? His name is Aaron Holiday, 13th rounder. Yeah, I think the Padres like him. Obviously, they wanted him in the deal. I'm not in the front office, so I don't know if it was like the deal breaker to that or not. But, yeah, I mean, I've heard that he touches 100, so that's always good. And like I mentioned yesterday, you pair him with Kevin Kopps, Ray Kerr, some other guys there, young guys that could come up and be in this bullpen long term. I'm liking what I'm seeing there with that combination. And with Aaron Holiday, touching 100, you would think that maybe he has control problems a little bit. I don't know a whole lot about him, so I don't want to, speculate. But here, I'll look up some of his minor league stats real quick for you. Of course, when I look up Aaron Holiday, it comes up with the basketball player. Aaron Holiday, Padres. Let's see. He was assigned to the Lake Elsinore Storm, I believe. Last year, he pitched in only 3 games, 5 2/3 innings, didn't give up a run. But that's his career. So he was because he was drafted in the 13th round in 2021, went to Old Dominion. So he's 22, I think. So, looking more into this, Aaron is a long way away, it seems like. You see the tools, right? The flashes, the upside, but it seems like he's a good ways away. But I can try to get him on the show if you guys want me to, actually. Let me confirm to see if he's on the Lake Elsinore roster. Luis Garcia is on a rehab assignment with them. Yep, Aaron Holiday he's in Lake Elsinore. So if anyone wants to go watch him, he is with the Lake Elsinore Storm. Not on the 40-man Padre roster, but he is with Lake Elsinore. So that's what I got for you on Aaron Holiday. Hopefully that helps. Zara says, fam killing people out there in Cincinnati. Yeah, he ran into Nick Senzel, their center fielder, and I tweeted to someone that tweeted out the video of them colliding today, saying he can't go yell at Bobby Dickerson now. Because last year, obviously, with the Ha-Seong Kim collision, right, they ran into each other, communication, and fam wanted to yell at Bobby Dickerson instead of, just being accountable. Gil says, extend Mania. We need this lefty as in case Gore, Weathers, Morejon struggle to break into the rotation. Weathers pitches today. Yep, he does pitch today in El Paso. I think today's opening day in El Paso, like their first home game. Gore looked great. He's going to come up at some point this year. Will it be Friday? Who knows? A quick update. Blake Snell did pitch. Or not pitch. He threw today. He was throwing in the outfield today. As usual, he's supposed to throw a bullpen tomorrow. So we'll probably hear more about Snell and if Gore will come up probably tomorrow or Thursday morning. You know, you would think that they'd want Gore to be there for opening day if they're going to call him up. Let's see here. Raven says, need post-game show. Yeah, so I usually do post-game live, do an episode live after every series. Right now I'm on the East Coast, so it's usually like 1:30 in the morning when games are over. So I just do a quick reaction video that's like a minute long. Give you guys my thoughts, post it on all the social channels, so you guys can still get my thoughts. But it's hard to do a post-game show every night when I'm on the East Coast right now. I might do that in the summer when I'm back in San Diego, but right now that's kind of tough, you know, with school and everything. But that's why I do the pregame show before every game, because I like, you know, keeping you guys informed as well and still doing some sort of live, you know, video pretty much every day of the season, you know, whenever the Padres play, obviously. And then usually on off days, I'll probably have another episode, interviews every week. I'm scheduled to have at least one person on this week, so stay tuned for that. And I might be making an appearance on another channel as well, so stay tuned for that. But I appreciate the support, Raven. I really do. Stay tuned for content inside Petco Park this year when I get back in San Diego. My family has season tickets, so I'm planning on having some content inside Petco and maybe outside too, talking to fans. Who knows? Oh, okay. Javi Guerra DFA'd. Hold on 1 second. I'm doing this live stream, so I didn't see that. Let's see here. What do we got? Padres have claimed Kyle Tyler off waivers from the Angels, designated Javi Guerra for assignment. I thought they already claimed Kyle Tyler off waivers. Didn't they claim him off waivers from like the Red Sox? I thought that was the thing. But Javi Guerra DFA'd, so Javi Guerra experiment is over. He's out of options, so it looks like he's going to probably get traded or just released, and another team can pick him up. But yeah, Javi Guerra has been DFA'd. Padres claiming Kyle Tyler off waivers from the Angels. Guerra does throw 99. Kyle Tyler, by the way, the Padres who claimed him, he threw 12 and a third innings in relief for the Angels in 2021. I believe it was with the Red Sox, and then the Padres claimed him. Let me double check that real quick. Kyle Tyler. I need some minor league stats here. Here we go. So last year he was with Salt Lake. He was with Rocket City in Double-A. I swear he was with the Red Sox at some point, and the Padres got him, and now he's on the. Then he was on the Angels, and then the Padres got him again. Hold on a second. Yeah, I'm right. Yeah. Baseball Trade Rumors is saying it's the second time in 3 weeks that the Friars have claimed Kyle Tyler, who made the run through the waiver wire since the end of the lockout. He used to be an Angel, DFA'd, and then landed with the Red Sox after being with the Angels. Then Boston DFA'd him a few days later. Padres got him. Oh, okay, so the Padres waived him last week, and then the Angels grabbed him back 2 days after that. The Angels' effort failed of trying to get him through waivers, so the Padres get him again. So he's just going back and forth through teams. Wow. All right, that's weird. What's up, Pony? How's it going? Nicholas, Ben, do you know when Luis Garcia is coming back? He's on a rehab assignment right now in Lake Elsinore. So who knows? I have not heard of an update from Bob Melvin, like an official update on that, but we'll see. Raven says, we need you to make post-game shows after every game. Maybe in the summer, but it's hard at 1:30 in the morning to do that every night. But I do a reaction video after every game and do a pregame show before every game. So I hope you appreciate that. But I really appreciate the support, man. Gil says, today's opening day in Lake Elsinore as well. Would love to catch a game with James Wood, Jackson Merrill, and Lizarraga getting the start. A few other interesting names, but Fort Wayne has all the minor league studs. Yeah, Fort Wayne has like Robert Hassel III. I think they have Joshua Mears as well. I think they have that one, was the outfielder, Rozier, that the Padres got in the Adam Frazier deal, I think, along with Ray Kerr. So, yeah, they have a pretty good outfield down there in Fort Wayne. Good question here from It's Your Boy. Biggest positive and negative so far this opening week? Well, good question. I think biggest positive is the starting pitching. Well, and Profar, Hosmer, the guys that you're not really expecting to, contribute and be the best players on the team so far, they're contributing really well. So that would be my biggest positive. And then the starting pitching with Manaea, Darvish, Musgrove, Chris Matt filling in, and then Martinez getting out of those jams yesterday and striking out the side in the fourth, only giving up, I think, 1 run. The Padres ERA the first time through the rotation, that even includes Chris Matt, who had like 5-minute notice before starting the game on Sunday. They have a 1 ERA. So those are my big positives. Negatives, that Tatis isn't here, that Myers isn't hitting. You had some unexpected guys, doing well, right? With Profar, Hosmer. Another unexpected guy would be Myers, but that's not happening. So him, maybe Robert Suarez, not off to a great start. But when you're 4-1, there's not a whole lot to complain about. So I don't have too many negatives, and that's a very, very good thing. Yeah. Hi, Mom. Yeah, she says starting pitching has been amazing. It has. I'm excited to see Darvish tonight. Again, I'm not he threw 6 no-hit innings the first time out. I'm not expecting him to do that again, and no one should. I just hope that he has less than 4 walks, and hopefully the hits aren't, over the fence, obviously. All right, let's see. Gil says, and I'm going through comments here, but I want to get back to my pregame show. But I'll get back to these comments, but I'll go one more with Gil here. You mentioned you try to get Holiday if that's what I wanted, but I'm just thought his stats were interesting. Victor Lizarraga, on the other hand, is a local kid from Tijuana, San Diego, and he's at Lake Elsinore. Yep. Yeah, they're both pretty intriguing names. All right. Let's get back to the pregame show. Let's go with the bullpen usage chart that I just put out there on Instagram and Twitter. Here's how the bullpen shapes up so far tonight, going into April 12th's game. So these are the last 5 days, all the pitch counts of the relievers. This was put out before Guerra was DFA'd, so I'll have to update that. So you can just not even regard Guerra's name there. I just thought of this. Does Gore get called up now and they keep Snell on the 20's 8-man roster? Because you DFA Gary, you got to bring someone up. So do you bring up Reese Kinnear? Who do you bring up there? So that's another question. But as for the bullpen, Austin Adams should be available. Chris Matt, I don't think so. He's a long guy. Pitched 53 pitches on Sunday. Wouldn't think so. Johnson, no. Lamet hasn't thrown in a long time. He's been up and down on the bullpen, but he hasn't thrown in a game. So he should be a likely candidate to go in. Stammen, no. Suarez, maybe. Wilson, probably not. Hill, yes. He's gone 3 days without appearing in a game so far. Rogers, he can pitch back-to-back games, so if they have a lead, I think they'd go to Rogers and they want to guarantee that 5-win road trip, to start off the year. That would be huge. So I think Rogers. So the guys that I would see that are available, Austin Adams, 1, Lamet, 2, Suarez, 3, Hill, and Rogers. So I think 5 of those, what do we got? 9 now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 5 of the 9 I would say would be available tonight. So that's how the bullpen situation stacks up right now. Let's move on to the lineups. Here we go. So Padres lineup, we got Grish leading off at the center. We got Nola catching again, hitting second, same as last night. Manny at third, batting third. Batting fourth, we got Jake at second. Batting fifth, Voit DHing. Batting sixth is Haas at first. Batting seventh is Myers in right. Beatty playing over Profar. He's in left, batting eighth. And then we got CJ Abrams back in the lineup. There we go, batting ninth at shortstop. It is a righty on the mound and Alex Cobb. So you got Abrams in there as a lefty with the right-lefty matchup, batting ninth. So with this lineup, I'm fine with Grisham leading off. Nola homered yesterday. By the way, that was my Padre pick. The one guy I thought was going to get a hit. Nola homered. That's Kaching. Got that one right. I think I'm 3-1 so far on the year in Padre picks. Manny batting third. He owns Alex Cobb. And so I'll give away my Padre picks so far right now, and you can look at the matchups here. Manny's hitting 364 so far off Alex Cobb in his career. So he is my Padre pick. He has owned him, and he's been hitting the ball pretty solid. And so I think he will get a hit tonight. Jake Voit, again, he's walking a lot. Maybe he gets a pitch to hit. Hosmer, that's a question as well. Does he continue on that hot stretch? Can Myers get out of that funk that he's in? They continue putting him in the lineup, so we'll see. Will they give Jose Azocar a start over Myers? Will we get to that point? Here we go. We got some news here. Mackenzie Gore is in San Francisco with the Padres. Mackenzie Gore looks like he's on the roster, and I would bet that he'll start Friday. I don't think they'll come him out. I don't think they're going to bring him out of the bullpen. But live reaction here, just cutting away from the lineups here. Hang on 1 second. Let's see these tweets. This is official so I can actually believe it. I'm seeing this on my iPad here. Mackenzie Gore is in San Francisco at Oracle Park. If you don't believe me, here is Dennis Lynn's tweet. He's here. There you go. Mackenzie Gore is here at Oracle Park. There you go. So will he start Friday? Will I have to add him to some type? Will I have to add him to the bullpen chart? Will he be in the bullpen? Will he start? Snell has not been ruled out so far of starting on Friday, so I don't know. Give me your thoughts in the comments. What do you think about Mackenzie Gore? He is in San Francisco with the team. And I was just going over that bullpen chart, and I was saying, okay, Javi Guerra is down. Just in my head, do they bring up Gore? Is it Kinnear? Because if they're going to bring up Gore, you would think he would start, right? They're not going to bring him up to have him come out of the bullpen. That's not his role. I don't think that's the best way to utilize him. So, wow, that is interesting. Personally, I didn't think they would bring up Gore tonight because you're wasting a roster spot if you're not going to have him in the bullpen, right? Bring up Kinnear or something. At least, I don't know where Kinnear's schedule is, if he's going to start tomorrow or whatever, maybe that wouldn't work. But bring up someone from the minors that wouldn't be a starter, and you can use them in the bullpen in an emergency situation tonight instead of having Gore sit there and not pitched. So I didn't think that they were going to bring him up tonight. I thought that might have been something like a Thursday move, get him there for opening day, but that's interesting. So will they use him in the bullpen? Because Snell did throw today. He played catch today. and he's going to throw a bullpen, it seems like, tomorrow on his regular schedule. So do the Padres know something we don't about Snell's, how he's feeling? And he doesn't feel that great, but he's still just throwing? Who knows? But I'm a little surprised that Gore's called up today specifically. I kind of disagreed with the decision to bring him up just because I don't want to send him up and down and have him away from Niebla, who they're working really well with. And I don't think that's great for his confidence. But, I mean, Gore, if you're going based off the strictly, ask the question, who gives you the best chance to win? Who's the best pitcher? Kinnear or Gore? It's Gore, right? Weathers or Gore? Right now it's Gore. Weathers has a 135 ERA in the minors after one start this year. So it's an interesting decision. Again, I'm interested in why they decided to do it today. That makes you think that he's available out of the bullpen, or else you're wasting a roster spot on someone that could come out of the bullpen from the minors, So that's an interesting decision there. My mom says it's about time. Yeah. A lot of excitement about Gore. Yeah, Gil has some fire emojis. Eric, let's gore for it and start him. I see what you did there. Congrats to Gore. He had a solid spring training. Can't wait to see Gore mowed down the Giants. So, Gil, I assume that you think that he's coming out of the bullpen? That's my gut decision. That's my gut instinct, is because why? Again, I just keep going back to it. I know I keep repeating it, but why would you go to Gore and bring him up today if you're not going to use him? That just seems like a waste of a roster spot today specifically. And we know that teams they really value that roster spot. But wow, this is some great news. I'm excited. As a fan, oh yeah, bring Mackenzie Gore up. Yeah, he pitched great in spring training. He pitched great in the minors in his first start a couple of days ago, But it's just a matter of, my big question now is, how are they going to use him? Will he come out of the bullpen? I don't know. But it seems like they're thinking about it if they're calling him up today. All right, so I totally interrupted what I was going over with these lineups. But let's finish it off here, the Giants lineup. I talked about the Padres lineup already. We got Yaz on right, Belt at first, Darren Ruff DHing, Jock and left, Brandon Crawford at short, Wilmer Flores at third, Thairo Estrada at second, Steven Duggar in center, Joey Bart catching. So pretty much the same group of guys as yesterday. This Gore news kind of just totally took me off guard and took this whole pregame show out of, off the rails a little bit. I guess we'll finish up what I had, and then we'll continue with this Gore talk if you guys want to continue that. My what to watch for is Abram is back in the lineup after 2 days. There were lefties on the mound 2 days in a row, so he wasn't going to start. How will he look? You got no Profar starting, obviously. I kind of disagree with that, but we weren't expecting Profar and Hosmer, or maybe Hosmer because he does it every April, but I don't think we were expecting Profar to get off to this amazing start, and we're probably not expecting Beatty to have a huge impact tonight. So will he? It seems like the season of unexpected to start off the season. And then the bullpen, who will come in with the lead? Melvin, I heard him say, I think to the media yesterday or something, he was talking about how they need to give some guys some time off who have pitched recently. So will they go a different route with 7, 8, 9? I don't think Pierce Johnson's available tonight after yesterday. So we'll see. As for my Padre pick, I already mentioned that. Today I'm picking Machado. Yesterday I picked Nola. He homered. Today I got Machado. He's hitting 364 off Alex Cobb. I'm 3-1 so far this season in my pregame show Padre pick. Again, for anyone who's new, just tuning in, my Padre pick, the one Padre. If I had to pick only one guy, what Padre do I think will get a hit tonight in tonight's game? And I think it will be Manny tonight. I like that matchup. Quickly going over some MLB scores, MLB news. Seiya Suzuki fans, Padre fans that wanted Suzuki on the team, plug your ears. He's hit 2 bombs against for the Cubs. They're up 2-1 in the 9th against the Pirates. Cincinnati and Cleveland are tied at 4 in the 8th. The White Sox up 2-1 against Seattle in the bottom of the 8th. Oakland up 3-0 to Tampa. Mets and Phillies just got started. Toronto and New York's about to kick off. Same with Milwaukee and Baltimore, Miami and the Angels, Washington and Atlanta. Chris Paddock is going to start, I think, tomorrow, and his first start with the Twins. And guess what present he gets? The Dodgers. Dodgers are in Minnesota. They kick off that game at 4:40 p.m. Pacific time. Dodgers are 1-2 to start the season. That's great to hear if you're a Padre fan. Kansas City and St. Louis are at 4:45. Colorado plays Texas at a little after 5. Houston plays the Diamondbacks at 6:40. So just before the Padres' first pitch tonight. Then Boston beat Detroit 5-3 earlier today. Just seeing if we have any more news. Spencer Torkelson for the Tigers. He got his first major league hit. He's their first baseman now. But other than that, those are some just MLB scores, some news just briefly. I'm just trying to see if we have anything. Okay, so Kevin Acey is saying Mackenzie Gore just walked through the Padres clubhouse. So Castavell says Gore has a locker in the Padres clubhouse. There will be a vacancy in the San Diego rotation come Friday when Snell likely lands in the IL. So it seems like Gore's going to start Friday then? Because AJ's saying there will be a vacancy. I don't really – maybe he probably knows more than I do. He probably has sources in the organization. But for him to just say that there will be a vacancy in the San Diego rotation come Friday when Snell likely lands in the IL, seems like he's pretty confident that the Padres are going to have Snell go on the IL. And if that is the case, I still don't really get in terms of tonight why Gore was added to the roster tonight if he's not going to pitch tonight. But that's just me. But yeah, I'm excited for Gore to pitch Friday as a fan. I don't know if this is the best, if they're just going to send him back down when Snell gets back. But this is interesting. It's definitely really intriguing. Friday night, Petco Park. I think my parents have tickets. My family has tickets to that game. So I know my mom's listening, watching. You better not sell those. You better go to that game. Gore on the bump against the Braves. That'll be exciting. If he starts. They haven't announced it, but that seems the way that it's going. Let's see here. Getting through some more comments. Eric says, imagine going from Darvish to Gore to Lamet to Rogers tonight. Yeah, but just based on AJ Castavell's last tweet, I don't see Gore pitching tonight. Seems like they're waiting for the Snell bullpen tomorrow if he's not healthy, and then they'll start him Friday. He could, but I don't know. I think what's more likely, to be honest, is they go to Darvish to Lamet, or they go Darvish Hill and then Lamet. So you go right, left, right, and then you finish with Rogers, obviously, as the closer. Gil, yeah, you know what's up. MVP Profar. So far, I think he's the Padres MVP. Yes, you're right. Padres play the Twins in San Diego, Quan. I think in July, yes. I hope it lines up for the Padres to face Paddock. I do too. I'm not as much of a hater on Paddock as the Padre fan base is right now, and that's me as personally. He was one of my favorite players. But yeah, I said on episode 147 the other night of the podcast YouTube show, I didn't think that those comments were necessary. You could just say, I like these Twins uniforms and leave it at that. I'm excited for the Twins. You didn't have to go bash the Padres uniforms and say they look like UPS drivers. What's the point of that? I think the Padres have some of the best uniforms in the big leagues, to be honest. Gil says, told everyone Suzuki was the real deal and dumb people compared him to Kim, therefore didn't want him. Too bad we didn't get Suzuki, would have fit in perfectly. Well, right now, Profar is playing very well. And Suzuki would have cost $15, $20 million a year, right? The Cubs, I feel like, overpaid for him, actually. So, I agree that he would have had an impact, and he might be the real deal, but this is, and same thing with Profar, it's early in the season. You can't really judge on it right now. Quan, just snatched Gore up in my fantasy baseball league. I'm sure a lot of guys are doing that right now. Let's see. Anything else I should cover here? Again, my Padre pick is Manny tonight. Abrams back in the lineup. How will Beatty look with no Profar in there? How will that bullpen end up going, after Darvish tonight? Can Darvish minimize the walks? Alex Cobb on the mound for the Giants. Padres enter this game 4-1. The Giants are 2-2. First pitch at 6:45 p.m. Pacific time, Valley Sports San Diego, 97.3 The Fan. Padres are in first place in the National League West, going for their 5th win on this road trip to start off their season. Thank you, everyone, for watching and listening. We got some great Gore news coming, that he's in the clubhouse. Looks like he's on the team. That was great to react to live. Thank you so much for watching and listening to the podcast, the YouTube show, the episodes, and also this pregame show. I'll have a reaction video as well after the game as usual. And enjoy the game tonight, everyone. See ya.